Well, it's officially my favorite time of year. Back-to-back road trip season. And today you join me for another one in this 2025 BMW M5. And this is not just any G90 M5. This is the exact M5 that we drove on the channel a few months ago down in South Carolina. BMW, of course, distributes these cars into their press fleet all around the United States, and by some chance, the exact car we drove ended up in the Detroit fleet, and now we're going to spend even more time with it going down to see my buddy Sean at Kaufman Mayer in Peoria, Illinois. It's going to be an 800-mile round trip to hopefully make a bit more sense of this new G90 M5, because of course this has gotten a ton of hate. It's 5,200 pounds. Technically, it's a little bit slower than the outgoing F90. A lot of people don't like the way it looks, and they're calling it sacrilege because it's a plug-in hybrid. But I think this whole sort of formula makes this a bit more suitable as a daily driver. It might be a bit more efficient with this plug-in range, and well, I mean, that's what we're going to find out today. Unfortunately, I am solo, and it's unfortunate for me, it's unfortunate for everybody. Emily has to work. It's a Tuesday, it's during the week, and well, I'm using my YouTube privilege to just go and take a trip in the middle of the week. But it's for important research, of course, to see if this G90 is good for a long road trip. So to give you a bit of a refresher, of course, this G90 is the newest generation of M5. Under the hood, a 4.4-liter twin power turbo S68 V8 combined with an electric motor, power output 717 horsepower, 738 pound-feet of torque. It has an 8-speed automatic, and it's M xDrive all-wheel drive, which means it is all-wheel drive, but with the press of a button in the infotainment, you can make it rear-wheel drive. So it's still an M car. Don't think that this is just some big plug-in hybrid fake M5. It's still insanely fast, and I think it looks the business, especially in this frozen deep gray. This is a good color for this car because I think darker colors, they help kind of ease us into the design of new vehicles. And this is certainly no different. I really think this is quite attractive in this color. We have a red interior. The new M5 starts at $119,000. This one as spec'd, $144 grand for a few key reasons. For one, we have the carbon package, which actually saves us about 60 pounds because we have a carbon fiber roof on this G90 M5, which looks excellent. And then we also have carbon ceramic brakes. These are about an $8,000 option. You can tell they're the carbon ceramics because of the gold calipers. Very cool look. And I think these save about 50 pounds as well. So maybe this is only 5,100 pounds, not the full 5,200, because we have some factory weight savings going on here. As I mentioned, this is a plug-in hybrid. EPA rates this at 25 miles of electric range, but after taking it off the charger this morning, I was seeing 32 miles of electric range. So we will have to see what that is like. I'm at 28 now. It used a couple on the way here, and this is actually already full of fuel, so we're not going to have to stop and get gas right away on the way out. This was just dropped off last night, and I've put literally 4 miles on this car, apart from a few months ago when I drove it in South Carolina and we did our first impressions review. I love this. I love that it's the same car. That's just so cool to me that it's traveled all this way and we have been reunited. Oh, this is a double pull because it's a BMW. There we go. So this is still the S68, just extra boosted by an electric motor up to 717 horsepower. And this engine has been around for a bit. The first time we saw it as a plug-in hybrid was in the XM, and now, of course, in the M5. You guys probably already know this car, so let's just go over some road trip essentials here. Starting with one of the most important, and that is trunk space. So this has a power trunk. Just hold the button on the key fob, it will open up for you. And I'm using quite a bit of this, but there is still some room left. We have our charging cable for level 1 charging. I've got my camera bag, and I have my little roller bag suitcase. I think you could probably fit 4 of these, or maybe even more if you stacked them. So a pretty sizable trunk. It's not super wide, but it is very deep. So you do still have pretty sufficient room in here, and I think, you could probably fit 2 of me in this trunk. So don't let the proportions scare you. It is still quite usable. And as you can see, for a quick little 3-day solo road trip, it's doing just fine. Let's check out back seat room. Love this red interior. This is red. You know, some companies, they say, okay, red interior, and it's more of a burgundy. This is red, like very, very bright. And the full sun today is helping our case and showcasing the red. Into the back seat, surprisingly, no soft closed doors on this M5. At least I don't think. Yeah, no soft closed doors on this, so that's a little bit surprising. We do have some sunshades back here, and look at this, you even have a sunshade for your little quarter window there. So on a sunny day like today, that is nice. Full climate control panel, heated rear seats. That's part of the executive package on this car. And don't worry, we'll put all the options in the description for you guys so you can see what all this thing has. Fold down armrest with cup holders. And honestly, just as far as room goes, and as far as like seating comfort back here, you kind of sit in this back seat. You've got really nice padding here, kind of on the quarter. And you just sit really nicely back here. Legroom sat behind myself, 5'11". I'm all good. Headroom, I've got plenty of headroom back here. Got room up there, look at that, for helmets. Little indent in the roof. Very cool to see. All right. Well, why don't we just get out on the road? I feel like sometimes these road trip intros are a little bit too long. So we'll just go ahead, actually very quickly, let's talk about tires because these are another important aspect of comfort during a road trip. Now this is a little bit weird. This is on a Hankook Ventus S1 Evo Z. You don't usually see a Hankook tire as factory on a high-end vehicle like this, at least in my experience, but we'll have to see how this one behaves today. This is, of course, a high-performance summer tire, and it's not a squared setup. 285/40 ZR20 on the front. And on the back, we have a 295/35 ZR21. So you got a 20 on the front, a 21 on the back. The sizes are pretty similar. There's not a huge discrepancy here, and we have driven these on track, and they are pretty dang impressive. So still can do all the business on the track, but can it do 800 miles in comfort? Let's go ahead and find out. To be honest, the thing I'm the most excited for is this standard Bowers & Wilkins sound system, which you know we will be testing, and we did test in our first drive as well. I'll link that video down in the description if you want my raw first impressions on this new G90 M5. Split folding armrest. Nice. You've got a wireless charger and just a kind of dead spot here for your phone if you don't want it to be very hot in the wireless charging spot. 2 USB-C ports, wireless CarPlay and Android Auto, pretty much everything you need in here. Curious to see how this infotainment is to live with for 8 hours on the road as well. But it is actually quite toasty in here, so let's start this M5 up and get on the road. And it comes to life in complete silence because we still have 28 miles of plug-in range. So I'm just going to kind of let this thing do what it has to do and kind of figure out where it's most efficient to use these electric miles, which is probably going to be on our way to the highway. But I'm going to leave the climate control on auto because it's just the most simple way to deal with this iDrive 8.5 infotainment. Let's go back into CarPlay here. I've already got my destination set. 5 hours and 38 minutes, 379 miles. We're going to spend a lot of time here in this G90, and it should give us plenty of time to get to know it and come to a verdict here at the end in a couple of days. Into reverse. You can see very nice high-quality backup camera and 360 camera here on this M5. Wouldn't expect anything less. And to drive, that front camera pops up. I'm going to raise this power steering column so you guys can see the steering wheel just a bit better. Now this has auto hold, which is off. That is good. And we are in EV mode right now. Interesting, it's having me go this way. Okay. Over a certain throttle threshold, it will unleash the S68 to assist you in your acceleration. But for the most part, you can be nice to it and it'll just use its electric power. So under first impressions, actually the first thing I noticed is how good it smells in here. That's something I don't think a lot of YouTubers talk about, is how new cars smell, and I'm going to try and do that a little bit more. This car smells like if you walk into a high-end luxury bag store and all of the smells of leather hit you as soon as you walk in. That's kind of how this car smells, mixed with, I think, some of the cologne of the driver that dropped it off, who has very good taste in cologne. It's quite a nice smell, and it's making this very enjoyable for me, and I hope it stays. I hope I don't become nose blind to it, but it is quite nice. I also reset my trip before I left the house. We've only done 5 miles, most of which was in EV mode. I figured it wouldn't make too big of a difference to reset it in that parking lot. So far, we're doing 35 mpg. This M5 is rated at 17 mpg on the highway, which is quite a poor number. I have very, very high confidence that this is going to exceed that. I'm expecting over 20 for the whole trip, so we'll have to see how it does. If you guys remember the 750E that Emily and I road trip down to South Carolina, that very, very well exceeded its EPA rating. I want to say that thing did like 35 or 36 miles to the gallon, which was just unbelievable. Obviously, we are factoring in 32 miles of electric range on this, but I mean, that's fair. That's what this car has available, so we'll see how it benefits us on today's trip and in 2 days when we drive back. Okay, so the other impression that I got right off the bat was kind of how loud these tires are. And again, this is a high-performance summer tire. It's never going to be whisper quiet. But I just thought with this being an M5, with it weighing 2.5 tons, it would have a lot of sound deadening and it would be a little bit quieter in here. The real telling factor will be once I'm on the highway, once I've got the music going, we'll see if I can still hear this intrusion. Very, very quick steering. Steering is very light as well. Light and quick. You can absolutely flick this thing around. It does not complain. Obviously, we have adaptive dampers in this. Ride quality and comfort mode seems to be pretty nice. Obviously, there's a lot of road intrusion over some of these expansion joints. You can really, really hear everything that's going on. Let's go into M1 mode for this entrance ramp here. This will be our one little burst for the video. Goodness, I forgot how fast this was. Okay, let's relax that a little bit. Oh my goodness. Holy crap. Oh my goodness. And relax. And relax. Okay. What a machine. It is fast. Don't be scared by the 5,200 pound curb weight. This thing absolutely rips, and it's smooth power, it's effortless power, but it's an M5. It should be. I mean, M5s have always been for this. They're meant to do fast Autobahn cruising, fast speed, long distances, which is why I'm really excited to evaluate this thing today. This has the Assist Pro package on it, which is an optional extra, which means this should do some driving on my behalf. We'll have to try that out once we're a bit more settled in on the highway here. Still kind of getting a feel for things. And cruising here at just very regular highway speeds, we are revved under 2,000 RPM. I think this is going to do quite well in the fuel economy department. Now, I have this in hybrid mode. You can also lock it into electric mode only until it uses up all of its electric range, or you can put it in e-save. If you're on the highway and you want to save your electric range for when you're jumping back down into the city or something, you are able to do that as well. So just kind of normal plug-in hybrid stuff. I mean, just because this is an M car doesn't mean it's any different in that respect. Let's set this. Distance control activated. Of course, the adaptive cruise distance, it all lives in the infotainment system, and I don't even know what this is set on. Probably pretty far, because we are starting to feel as though we are impeding traffic today. Okay. So how do I go about changing this now in the infotainment? Probably go here. You probably go to driving settings, driver assistance, driving. We're going to get out of the passing lane to do this. Distance control. There we go. Okay, this is on far distance. Let's put this on close. I understand that we as journalists, we blow this out of proportion a bit for being an important thing, but you know, it is, you could argue it's one of those things you can set and forget when you get into the car. But also, sometimes I like to have a further distance for like a back road. If I'm on a 55-mile-an-hour road, you don't want to be as close to someone as you are, say, on the highway. I don't know if that even makes sense, but I do like to be able to change that on the fly, and you guys saw how many clicks that was for me to get in to be able to do this today. Even though Emily is not with us, I still made sure to bring a big dumb cup, which does fit very well in the cup holder. Got a liquid IV in there today to make sure I stay hydrated. But pretty good places to put things. I mean, sufficient cup holder locations. You've got extra places for cups in the door panels, which is so funny for a German car because, you know, back 20, 30 years ago, German cars didn't even have cup holders. So it's cool to see that they've come around to the American way. This has got assisted driving now. Let's see how that goes. It's got the little green. Okay, so this has, I don't think, quite as advanced of a system as the 750E had. It will steer for you for a second, but then it looks like it gets quite unhappy. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll kind of keep messing with this and see if it has any more potential that I'm not realizing right now, but for the time being anyway, just having a little bit of a helping hand with some steering is never a bad thing. Under first impressions, just sitting in this M5, I think we're going to be set up pretty well because this is still a 5 Series. It is still a pretty big interior in this, and there's a lot of adjustability on this seat. So, you know, you've got really nice lumbar adjust that goes up, down, in, and out. Elbow situation seems to be quite good. This split folding center console is very squishy. Driver's door panel is a little bit harder, but we'll have to see how this goes for the whole trip. Again, I mean, this is just first impressions. So, alrighty guys, well, I'm going to go ahead and settle into this M5, and we will update you as, I'm so used to saying we. I miss Emily. I wish she was here. I will update you as we get a little bit further down the road, and we have a little bit of a better idea of what it's like to sit in this new G90 M5. Welcome back to the G90 M5. Welcome to a very noisy construction zone where in 4 miles, okay, thank goodness, in 4 miles we're exiting onto John Beers Road because it's that time of the trip where I have gotten a bit hungry. And what's a Topher drives road trip without some Culvers? So we're going to grab some Midwestern delights, I suppose. But we have 8 minutes to go. I figured I'd give you a little bit of an update while we're here. We've done 164 miles, quick MPG check, 26.3, so around about 9 miles per gallon over EPA's estimate for the highway. Not to mention, we haven't used any of our plug-in range. We're down to just 24 miles, and I actually really love the whole plug-in aspect of this car because it makes decel so easy. If you're coming in hot behind someone, if someone's hogging the left lane, you lift your foot off the gas and it decelerates quite quickly to where you usually don't have to touch the brake. So it helps in situations like this when you're in a bit of a construction zone, and it's just nice overall. I mean, lots of regen going on here. But I mean, overall, it's been pretty good. What I've had to remind myself is this is still an M car, and when BMW puts an M badge on something without multiple numbers after it, okay, let me rephrase. When BMW puts an M badge in front of just one number, they really mean it. And this is still a full-on M car. Just because it's a plug-in hybrid, just because it's very heavy, doesn't mean it's not hardcore. So I mean, inputs in here, they're still pretty hardcore. You know, this is not an M550i like that glorious car that we lost in the F generation there. Otherwise though, comfort points in here, everything's been a treat. My elbows are good, my back is good. Visibility out of this M5 is fantastic. The driver aids do a pretty good job. I've noticed that the adaptive cruise is a little bit nervous. It takes quite a while once you put your turn signal on to actually pass slower moving traffic. I looked for a way to adjust that. I couldn't find anything. Here we go, John Beers. Exit 22. Can we try to take a bit of a back road? I think this will go the same way if we just turn right here. This is the one time I desire to have shifting down on the console as well. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah. I've got my M1 mode set up for everything in comfort and then powertrain and everything in sport, so. Alright, we're not gonna do a launch because I don't know this road, so we're gonna be as respectful as we can be. Big carbon fiber paddle shifters. I like the steering wheel overall. I think it does a nice job of being like a nice comfortable size, and it's not too thick. It's thick, but it's not like offensively thick. I honestly think this is like a thinner wheel than the new Mini Cooper. We're in EV mode. Try and keep it that way here. Conserve our fuel economy. But Michigan is just, I mean, it's so beautiful. Look at this. I've never been over here before, but it's just pretty little houses. Spring is happening. The trees are getting their leaves back. It's a good time to be in Michigan right now. Obviously with this M hybrid system, it goes through the 8-speed. So even though right now we're in EV mode, we're in 5th gear. So this isn't like a Volvo where the plug-in hybrid is only the back wheels and it kind of drives like a regular EV. This does drive more like a traditional plug-in hybrid because it is an plug-in hybrid. I think the biggest contributing factor to the NVH in this M5 is just these tires, because like the sound deadening is here. And obviously since I've sat in this longer now, I can confidently tell you that, because, you know, quieter road surfaces, there's really no wind intrusion in here. So, I mean, get yourself a nice set of like ultra high performance all season tires and you'd probably be a lot happier. If you're not going to be like tracking your M5, if you're just daily driving this, there is no need for these tires. This is the part of the video where I would ask Emily, sure you don't want to go to Long John Silver's instead? And she would say, no. This Culver's looks mildly familiar. Like perhaps I've been here before. This is a nice little spot. Culver's just gives like very welcoming, polite Midwestern vibes. And look at this. Normally, when we're on a road trip and we're going through a drive-thru, it diminishes our fuel economy, but since this is a plug-in hybrid, we have plenty of just electricity to get us through this, so we won't diminish anything. Also, I found that this little door pocket right here is the perfect size for the time-lapse GoPro. I mean, look at this. It's like it was built for it. What's your guys' favorite generation of M5? Just browsing BAT. They've got E39, an F10, F90. Oh, that's it right now. When I started doing this job, the F90 was the current M5, so I did drive one of those. It was like voodoo blue. Prior to Topher drives, that was back in my strictly the Topher social media days, but Tedward drives an E39, he loves that. I don't know. I love a good E28. As much as it pains me to say, I feel like the E60 is the most kind of bespoke because it has the V10. $72,000 somebody paid for this one. Holy crap, I mean, it's a good spec. Blue on white, manual, 32,000 miles. Okay, let's take a break from Bring a Trailer. I want to deploy my parking cameras. There you go. You've actually got a button for that, which is haptic, but it's there. And you can see 360 cam, you've got a front camera that pops up, and this also has backup assistance. So if you live somewhere where you're backing into a very irritating spot that requires a lot of steering, you can have the car remember it once and it will always do it for you. Hello.
Hello,
how's it going?
Topher's.
Hello. May I please do a 2-piece chicken tender basket?
I'm hearing tenders. I'm hearing 2 pieces. Any dipping sauce for the tenders?
Yeah, ranch, please.
Any a name to put on this?
Chris?
C-H-R-I-S, right?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Here's your number.
Thank you.
Goes on the mirror.
Yep.
Total comes to $8. I gotta say, I'm really digging the interior of your car.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, the red and the black kind of reminds me of Deadpool.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
All right. Did I give you a number? Good.
Yep,
Okay,
you did.
next window then.
Thank you. Right, maneuverability, quite good. Steering is plenty light. Hello.
There you go, Chris.
Thank you.
Maybe you pull forward, we'll bring out your food right to you.
Amazing, thanks so much. Culver's is just the best. Since we have no Emily, we have 2 open cup holders. It is the one and only advantage of being alone. Otherwise, it's worse in every way. Hello.
There you go.
Thank you so much. Right. Replacing the smell of rich leather and cologne with chicken tenders and French fries. The surface, okay, of the console slightly slanted backwards, so you got to be careful. I'm gonna eat my lunch, and I'll catch back up with you guys when I'm getting fuel. We'll get back onto the highway, and we'll keep on trucking to Peoria. Well, lunch is done for the most part, and this has passed one of the most important tests, and that is, can the grab handle on the driver's door panel fit a Culver's French fry bag? And well, this one looks like it was literally made for it. So that is good. I've got those to snack on now for the rest of the trip, but let's go over to this Shell station. We'll fill this M5 up, even though we're still just above half a tank. But this means I don't have to stop somewhere in Chicago and get fuel, because I'm not a big enthusiast of doing that. Check this out. Combination Culver's and Shell fuel station. How about that? Just a good old-fashioned 93 octane. That is all I require. Okay, let's fill this thing up real quick. I like the location of the interior door handle there. Must be a thingy. Ah, there is. I see it. There you go. Usually BMWs don't have those. You can just walk back and push it and it opens. It's one of those new high-tech gas pumps, which I'm seeing all of your comments, you guys telling me how to mute Maria Menounos. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I very much appreciate you all telling me how to do it. All right, 93 octane. This thing filled up here. They must not have Maria Menounos out here. Hasn't made it this far west yet.
You know how I get their attention? This won't help my gas.
Oh dear. Yeah, 6.8 gallons. That's all we needed. This is actually somewhat of a small fuel tank in this M5, only 15.9 gallons. So if you are getting the EPA's indicated 17 mpg, that's not very far. Thank you, please come again. Okay, maybe I will. All right. Wow, that's quite poor. Only 270 miles of highway range if you do the 17 mpg, but what if you do 26 like we've been doing? 400, even that's not really that great. Something back there must be 15 point. It's a very small fuel tank. I would honestly expect this car to have like a 20-gallon fuel tank. But anyway, that fill up there has upped our estimated range to 399 miles. Get this thing back going, get back to our navigation screen, and we can get back out on the road. stop cost me 42 minutes. We're going to be getting to Cowthenmere at just about closing time today. Sorry, Sean. The way in which this car presents its torque is just unbelievable. I mean, I think this is alleged. Took a shortcut through Mexico briefly on the way here, but all it has to do to get you from like 70 to 110 is it downshifts to 7th, and you give it like half throttle, and you're just there. I mean, it's seriously unbelievable. Is it raining? How could it be raining? Lake effect, I suppose. My goodness. Well, we're not going to wipe the windshield and hopefully not smear all these bugs around. Okay, well, anyway, we've got 3.5 hours still to go, 215 miles. We are averaging 26.7 mpg, and we're going to make it no problem with the current fuel range. So I suppose I will just continue sitting in this G90 M5. And I will update you once I have some more impressions for you. Welcome to Hammond, Indiana, where we are entering some traffic, and we've been following this sort of hard eyes emoji like tanker truck thing. I don't know, but I can see right through it. I don't know what he carries in there, but he's kind of been swerving all over the place. There you go, just did a risky lane change in front of another semi there. So we're actually gonna try and stay away. There he goes, off onto the shoulder. I don't know what is happening with that right now, but every time he hits the brakes, he flies to the left. Maybe the truck is broken, but I figured I'd give you guys some traffic impressions here in the M5. As when you slow down here, obviously it defaults you back into EV mode. So we are in electric mode right now. We have diminished some of our plug-in range. We're down to just 10 miles. That is still quite a bit. Average MPG is up to 27.2. So obviously some of this electric driving is helping us with that. Brake recommendation. I'm not the one swerving, it's the truck in front of me I'm having to make up for his mistakes. I fear I'm going to bond with this M5 because this is now the second time I've driven it, and I'll have driven it by the end of this in 4 different states. Okay, well, I guess we're out of the traffic. Is that a lifted? That is a lifted CX-70 on some all-terrains. Wow, that's a first for me. BMW does a great job with their throttle tuning, their brake tuning. All of those calibration points are always very, very satisfactory for me anyway. And everything just feels very natural, and you don't have to put a ton of thought into it. It's nice to see that even with this plug-in hybrid performance car, which is very new to them, they've still been able to get this dialed in quite well. Ride quality here is a little bit hard to explain because there's a firmness to the ride, but you feel as though you have quite a bit of suspension travel. So there are times where it does feel floaty, but it kind of rebounds back quite quickly. I mean, it's fine. I would say for a BMW M car, the ride quality here is nice. It's not beating me up whatsoever. Through the I-Pass. Thanks, BMW.
Inside of a dead dark place with few survivors, it seems that you lived in places already.
It appears maybe it's storming up here. Hopefully not. Well, this is our exit here. 6 minutes to go. Kind of wrap up the, I don't know, the first half of the trip impressions here. 385 miles down. I mean, 26.6 mpg. That's honestly about where I expected the car to be. BMWs always every time outperform their EPA rating on the highway. usually by about 10 mpg, and it's no different here with the G90 M5. Slight advantage with the whole plug-in hybrid thing, having a full charge, you know, as we left, but I mean, credit where credit's due for this car. It's pretty impressive. We still have a whole other, you know, 400 miles to go, still have impressions to give, but I'm very, very pleased with this M5 so far. It's done everything I've wanted it to do. I'm, for the most part, comfortable. My back, I started to get a little bit fatigued after about 3 hours. That's normal, I mean, pretty much with any car. And what I found with this seat, actually, is that the butt rest is very supportive. Usually my butt starts to hurt, but it's more so my back, I think, in this that's fatigued. I wish the lumbar came out just a little bit more, and I wish the adjustment was a little bit better. It's a little bit of like trickery because it goes up and down. Like you have that adjustment to move your lumbar up and down, but it like doesn't give me what I want. So I don't know what that's all about. You really just have to train yourself for the speed of this car, because you can sit in it for hours on end on the highway and just float. And I mean, this feels like it could sit at 150 miles an hour quite happily all day. I mean, it's built for the Autobahn, that makes sense, but you have to train yourself to make sure you're ready. When you're going to shoot a gap and you give it some throttle, I mean, you're there immediately. So it's still a fast car. You have to, it's the Autobahn burner. But really, it's everything I look for in a road trip car. It's fast, it's cozy, it's fuel efficient enough, and it has all of the amenities that you need in here. So let's get this G90 pulled into Kouth and Mayer, and I'm kind of just here to hang out with my buddy Sean. I'm gonna meet his baby for the first time, and maybe we'll film a couple of cars while we're here too. What was the last car we took here? Lexus ES? I know we did a Z4 once as well. All right, well, there we go. Just under 400 miles done. Let's shut this thing off. 388 miles. Let's see how many bugs we killed. Oh, the windshield had a lot. Oh, yeah. Quite a few. Oh, and we've picked up all sorts of bits of debris and stuff down in this big, gaping bottom of the bumper. My goodness. Okay. All right, well, I'm going to spend a few days here filming, and we'll resume this on Thursday.
And all that we saw were people that had no hope, and you changed my eyes into flaming kaleidoscopes. I saw.
Well, guys, it's been nothing less than eventful at Kouth and Mayer. It's always a great time, and we drove some crazy stuff, including that Ferrari 308 in front of us that you'll see over on the Topher channel. We drove a Boxster RS60 and a Mercedes SL500 that you'll see right here on Topher Drives, and then we drove a ton of stuff for Winding Road. So look forward to all of that, but I am absolutely beat. I think I've filmed like 12 videos over the course of a day and a half, so we've had a lot going on, but the M5 is good. You know, we are, I don't really need to get out. You guys know what it looks like already. Let's just go ahead and hit the road. We have 5.5 hours to get home, and we're gonna stop and fill up the tank on this thing first. I plugged the car in the other night, so we actually are back up to 22 miles of electric range here. I was driving a Ferrari 308 this morning, and I contorted my body in ways that I've never done before. So we took some ibuprofen, and we're getting after it for the 6-hour drive home now. The Shell station is in sight. Let's go top up the tank on this M5 and hit the road hard. Preparing for refueling. Okay. All right, some 93 octane in here. You can see BMW always puts BMW M recommends Shell V Power. Holy crap. That is just unbelievable. This car goes at such a pace. I look up and the number I see, you simply don't expect it. I haven't really shown off just how fast this M5 is, which is breathtakingly fast. We'll have to find somewhere at some point to do a launch control. Why don't we just do that real quick? There's no one around us. Let's do a quick launch. That is intense. Okay, I'm taking the camera off. We're gonna put some serious miles on this, and we'll probably just check in with you maybe one more time before the end of the video. I don't know. I don't want to bore you guys, but you know, if I think of anything else, throw the camera back on. But just to check in, 445 miles down, 27.2 mpg. We have 5 hours to go, 346 miles, and all right, mentally prepare for the mileage here.
Something that I thought for sure was fiction.
Well, guys, we are 788 miles down in the G90 M5, and this is going to be a wrap on this road trip. Decided to just take it all the way home. This is the exit nearby to where I live. And lucky for all of you, you get to watch me put fuel in this one more time. Sorry if you're bored of watching me put fuel in the M5, but one last time for old time's sake. And after we top up the fuel, we're going to do a quick Bowers & Wilkins sound system test, and we will wrap this up. This has been quite the experience in this car, I'll put it that way. It is bonkers fast, and honestly, quite a bit more efficient than I figured it would be. 26.5 is the figure that we are ending on today after 788 miles. Now, what I want you to consider with that is that we used 2 full tanks of EV, and with the indicated 32 to 34 miles, we'll round up and say we did 70 miles in EV mode out of the 788. So about 718 miles ICE, 70 miles EV, but also consider it's switching back and forth. It's probably regen some of these miles, so maybe some more in EV mode. But I just want to give this car the praise it deserves and congratulate it for getting almost 10 miles to the gallon higher than its EPA rating. I don't know if the EPA necessarily figures in the plug-in range. They may run it with the range completely depleted, but even then, I don't think, you know, the miles we did in EV mode is making up for 10 mpg. Look at that, 3rd time's the charm. I remembered to hit the little button. Where's my phone? It's right here. We're gonna fill this back up for BMW. It goes back in a few days, and appreciate them letting me take this for 800 miles. So we'll return the favor by giving them a full tank of 93. But let's see how we fare. This did get rained on the day that I arrived in Peoria, so it washed off essentially like the entire layer of the pre-road trip. But I mean, yeah, we killed some bugs for sure. But overall, I mean, it doesn't look too bad. We even drove this in the rain. It doesn't even look like it drove in the rain, but it did. Wheels aren't really super covered in brake dust. I mean, this is an M5 after 800 solid miles on the road. Look at that, 14.6 gallons. So we only had, geez, like 1.3 gallons left in this thing. I will say though, it did make it back from Peoria on 1 tank of fuel. So we'll give it that. It has just enough range to do Peoria to Ypsilanti, as you know, that is a very commonly used metric. Oh my goodness, it's the Cozy Coupe T-Rex edition. Somebody stole the Topher's car. Obviously, you know that M5s are built for long distance fast driving, and this has done that with no problem. Not to say that I've been driving fast, allegedly, but it just does everything with such ease. NVH in this car overall has been fine. My ears don't ache. The Bowers & Wilkins has been fantastic, which we're gonna wrap the video with that. Elbow comfiness, pretty good. My right elbow did start to get a little bit sore after a couple of hours, which, you know, that's quite a lot of time spent in the car, but maybe a little bit more squish on the center console. I guess what I'm trying to say is the M5 is a fantastic road trip car, and thank goodness it got 26 miles to the gallon, or else we would have been stopping quite a bit more for fuel. But this has been good. It's comfortable. It's stupid fast, and it's very confidence inspiring on the road. I mean, this is a car that I would not hesitate to hop in and drive cross country, Michigan to California. This would be a great car to do it in. And it explains why a lot of the cannonball attempts have been in BMW M5s. So it's a good car. The fact that it's a G90, I think, maybe helps it be a good road trip car because you have the efficiency, you have the further refinement in this interior. And, you know, build quality seems great. Nothing squeaks, nothing rattles in here. Everything feels very well put together. And the couple of people that I did have in this car this week really complimented the interior. And while this is no analog BMW anymore, you have to admit it is certainly striking with this pretty wild ambient lighting in here. So as this Crosstrek finally gets out of our way, let's end this video out with a sound system test. And that'll do it for us today.
That was my first and last mistake. I blew without your faith. Well, what can I do? 'Cause I'm just a sinking ship, and you're just a pair of lips that I've lost in the moment. All I want is for you to come back.
All right, guys, that's going to be a wrap on this one. I mean, it's a Bowers & Wilkins. What else can I say? It's a fantastic sound system, and it has been an absolute treat for the entire 800 miles that I've been in this M5. I mean, having a good sound system in a car like this, I think, is necessary. It adds to the experience, and without it, the experience would have been worse. So I'm glad that BMW puts a standard Bowers & Wilkins here in the M5, and my goodness, is it good. Okay, well, this is going to do it, I think, for the G90 M5. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions about this car. I know it quite well. 793 miles, sat behind the steering wheel. But it's really just been a treat. Real treat. Thank you again to BMW for providing the car, and that'll do it. More road trips to come, and I'm excited. Thank you guys all so much for watching and continuing to support the channel. We will see you in the next one. Take care.